Hey guys, in this video, I wanted to show you how to remove the logos from a watch. This particular watch that I have is an Addiesdive MY-H3. I like the value that I get from these type of homage watches, but not particularly fond of the name, so I wanted to remove the logo or the name. So here's another watch where I removed the name. You can see the logo is still there. So it's the exact same watch, but it's a different color. With this particular model, I was able to remove the logos without damaging the dial itself. So make sure you test on a small area. So I'm using alcohol to remove it. So this is like 91% isopropyl alcohol that I got from Walmart. I haven't tried like lower concentrations, but they should work, but this is what I have in the house. Another thing you'll need are some cotton swabs, but in my case, I'm using some microfiber swabs because they don't leave any residue or any strands behind like cotton does. So to remove the case back from this watch and to have access to the dial, we're going to use this rubber ball tool to open up the case back. Now we're going to remove the stem. So we're just going to push down this little tab here and it should just pop off. So next we're going to put a little bit of masking tape here just to, I want to keep the actual logo, but I want to get rid of the name. So I'm just going to tape over it so the alcohol doesn't get to it. If you want, you can remove the hands and the dial from the movement so you have easier access, but I'm lazy, so I'm just going to keep it in place and just work around it. So after masking it off, all we're going to do is get a little bit of the alcohol here on this little dish here. Make sure you kind of put as little as possible, so I'm dabbing it off here on this paper towel. And then all you're going to do is just use it to rub off the lettering. So just kind of do it lightly. I would recommend testing this on maybe a smaller area of the dial somewhere on the edge to make sure that it doesn't strip any of the paint off. But you want to just lightly dab across the logo or the lettering to remove it. Keep in mind that not all watch dials are made the same way. Some are, they have like a lacquered coating, and if you put some alcohol on it, you'll probably strip the coating off and it'll look dull and it'll probably mess up your dial. So I actually have a bunch of these My-H3s, so I've done it on a few of them already, so nothing really happens to the dial. But I have done it on another watch, and it kind of made the watch dial dull, and because there's like a clear coat over it, and then when I put the alcohol in it, it kind of removed it. So then you kind of see a dull area where the logo used to be. And in some cases, you may run into instances where it removes the paint, right? But in this case, this particular Addiesdive MY-H3 didn't do that. So just take your time and do it slowly. Don't put too much alcohol, not too much pressure, and just you'll slowly see that the lettering will start fading away and it will disappear. So I'm just going to speed through this part and we'll see what happens after it is done. As you can see, the writing is almost completely gone. There's just a little bit of it left, so I'm just gonna keep on dabbing away at it with very low pressure. I think I see a little bit on the end of it. Now for the moment of truth, we're gonna remove the masking tape, and you can see that the logo is still intact, and it's looking pretty good. So we're gonna use a blower on that. I'm gonna leave the Divers 200 on there because I think there was gonna be too much negative space if I removed it. So I'm just gonna leave it there. After mulling it over for a bit, I wanted to remove the logo entirely because I wanted to put my own logo in its place. So I am going to remove the other part of the logo as well. Try not to get the alcohol on parts of the dial where you know there isn't a logo. Just try to contain it in one area as much as possible. I know it's kind of hard when you're dealing with something so small. So after it's done, we're going to get a blower and just get rid of any dust. And it actually looks pretty good. Now, you could sort of see a little bit like a faint hint of the logo on the dial, but once you put it under the glass, you really can't see it. I'll show you later, but it's actually pretty good. So I'm going to put the glass on top of it, and you'll see what it looks like here. And this is what it looks like with the watch all put back together, and the logo and the name is removed. I think it turned out pretty well. You'll also notice that the Cyclops is also removed because I'm not a big fan of the Cyclops. To remove the Cyclops magnifier, all I did was get a jet lighter torch, one of those little ones, and I just heated it up for like 2 seconds, and then it came off. So it was actually pretty easy on these watches. I think it turned out pretty well. You see a little dust on the watch, but it's not inside the watch, it's on the outside. So these Addiesdive watches are actually very good value. You can get them for, under $50 on AliExpress, and sometimes when they have their, 11/11 sale or their Black Friday sale, you get them for like $30. So I have quite a few of these. I'm not a big fan of the name of the watch, so that's why I decided to remove them. Um, you can remove the logos and whatnot and make it a sterile dial and put your own logos if you like. So like I said before, if you want to try using alcohol to remove any logos or writing on the dial, make sure you test it on a smaller area so that it, just in case it removes, the clear coating or even the color off the dial, which will ruin it. So, but for this particular model, it worked great. Anyways, that's it for this video. If you found it useful, comment, like, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.